Here we are at the beautiful Yas Island circuit, where qualifying is about to begin. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the action. The competition is certainly heating up as we head into today's qualifying. Some impressive times showing up during the previous practice sessions. Anthony Davidson, do you think we can expect a similar level of skill to be showcased during today's qualifier?
Well, I certainly hope so. The competition here is extremely tight, and I think we might see some very close times today. Remember, practice isn't just about fastest lap times, though. It's about optimisation, it's about ratifying your decisions. No one's going to be sweating small mistakes here and there, but in qualifying, that all changes. You need to nail that perfect lap or face the consequences, and believe me, that's a lot of pressure.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Iceman, Hamilton, and Max Verstappen. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
Welcome to the Yas Island circuit for the finale of another thrilling Formula One season. It's been a breathtaking year, and we end it at a track that's been the scene of many glories and heartbreaks over its short history. It's time to end the season in style. It's time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. We have 21 corners here at Yas Island circuit with 10 to the right and 11 to the left. It's a total lap distance of 3.4 miles. 2 long straights open up some passing opportunities into the chicanes, and we expect average lap speeds of around 123 miles per hour. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Iceman lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas, Sebastian Vettel and Leclerc, Gasly, Weber, Perez and Carlos Sainz, Butler, Hülkenberg, Alexander Albon and Raikkonen, Kvyat, Ricciardo, George Russell and Robert Kubica, Magnussen and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
There's still a chance we can win this championship, so go out there and bring back the title. Okay, that's a good start. Keep it up. Pitting this lap then, come into the pits at the end of this lap. DRS is now enabled and will be available to use when you are within 1 second of the car ahead in the DRS zone. Teammate behind is 13.1 seconds. You've been awarded. This is your final lap of the race. best, but it just wasn't our day today. It's been an incredible season. We'll come back stronger next year.
And so the celebrations begin, and well-earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. We also crown a new champion today, as their lead at the top is now an insurmountable one. What a great year it's been for Formula One. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
There's a few contenders, but George Russell definitely stood out, I think. A really solid drive from him today, and one I'm sure the fans enjoyed.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. It was more like Dodgems than Formula One today, wasn't it? You're beating all expectations. Would you say we all underestimated you? Would you say that your rival is still on your level? Great. Well, that's everything.
Nice job this season. You've been performing well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year.
Just wanted to say congrats on the podium. It's thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.
Good thinking. Maybe there are better options elsewhere. Our proposal has been accepted, so start saying your goodbyes. You'll be moving to the new team for the next race weekend.
Right, welcome back. It's going to be one heck of a season, I think. To be honest, I don't think we've done the best job maintaining our performance through this regulation change, though we're going to be playing a bit of catch-up this year. We're counting on you, but you've got the whole team behind you. Welcome back. I hope you're rested and ready for the new season. I don't think we really got the most out of the team last year. The car didn't really improve as I would have liked. Let's try and do better this time.
We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. And as we wait, poised for the start of what will hopefully be a thrilling qualifying, why don't you tell us, Anthony Davidson, about the things you can do to really get the most out of a car in a session like this?
Well, you're largely limited by the Parc Fermé regulations, of course. Back in the old days, pre-2004, you'd work on both a qualifying setup and a race setup over practice, and then swap them over after qualifying. So the race car was quite different at times to the qualifying car. Nowadays, though, you have to find a compromise that works for both. There are a few things that you can still adjust during the session, such as the differential, the brake bias, and the front wing angle, but that's about it. So it's more about optimizing what you do have and adapting your own style to suit the track conditions.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Iceman, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. Do you feel that you don't need to practice? How does a new car compare to your last one? Appreciate your time.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
The atmosphere is heavy with expectation and anticipation, and bearing the weight of that burden today is a place we know very well indeed. It's Albert Park. The story of the season begins here then with the Australian Grand Prix, and it's time for the first chapter to be written. We go racing today then in the state of Victoria, where the drivers have 16 corners and 3.3 miles to navigate at an average lap speed of around 120 miles an hour. The close proximity of the barriers makes accidents inevitable, and recent history shows us that a safety car is not at all out of the question. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, former world champion, and as he tells me all too often, an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, first time racing these cars. What are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
Oh, thanks, Crofty. It's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, one of the biggest things is reliability. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology, and this first Grand Prix of the season is going to push them to the limits. So the most important thing today is to stay out of trouble, get to the end of the race and keep everything in good condition.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Iceman lines up on pole position and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Bottas.
Let's convert this pole position into a win today. Good luck. That's a strong start. Well done. And that front wing, it'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.